Hello everyone, it's Izzy. I've had a couple people ask me, a couple people comment on how pretty my character is in Elder Scrolls Online, and they've asked me what settings I used, etc., etc., so I told them I would do a YouTube video to explain how I made such a pretty character, so here we go. Oops. I'll make the tune just like mine. My character is Breton. Bretons and Nords and Imperials are probably the easiest races to make pretty tunes because they don't have the heavy, scowly brows like the elves. And of course, they're not cats or lizards, so. Alright, usually I go somewhere between muscular and thin, closer to muscular. I used to do thin, but then they're so spindly. Their limbs are very spindly. So anywhere between muscular and thin. Height, I always go for shortest. Shorter characters run faster. Well, they don't actually run faster, but they feel like they're running faster because their legs move faster. So, body marking, I usually go with freckles, which is the second one in. Torso size, I like my girls to look feminine, so we'll do chest up a little bit, but not too much because that's just kind of insane. Gut size all the way down. Waist size pretty close to all the way down. Arm size, I usually take a little bit off, or in this case I'm going to do all because we went with a little bit more muscular. Hand size I don't touch. I don't have a problem with the standard hand size. Hip size we're going to bump up a little bit. Posterior dimensions up a little bit. I don't want to go too crazy with that. I've done that before, and these little flaps that hang off on the back of the outfits, if you give them just a little bit too much junk in the trunk, it sticks out really far. So, leg size, we'll bring that down a little bit in case your character is going to be wearing heavy armor, because let's face it, heavy armor bulks everything up. Alright, on to the face. I usually choose something between soft and angular. I stay away from heroic. Not a fan of heroic. So we'll stay somewhere between soft and angular. Get her looking straight at us. I'm going to use my favorite hairstyle. It's the only one I like. I can't seem to make a tune without this hairstyle, so I'll use dark hair like my character has. Age is going to be the youngest. Adornment, I'm not going to go with an adornment. That's up to you. I'm going to go with no adornment. Head markings, I like the one with the dark eye makeup. Now in the character creator, it looks kind of, well, hoary, but it doesn't look that bad out in the real world. Alright. Forehead slope. As you can see, I usually turn the forehead slope down a little bit. Now, cheekbone size to me is part of the problem as to why most Nords and Imperials and Bretons look like they have really wide, round faces. So I turn this all the way down completely. And see, now she already has a more narrow look. I'm not a big fan of the real wide faces, so you can also play around with the jaw size. This will narrow the face as well. And then chin size, well, that's kind of a preference. If you like a pointy chin, or it doesn't really matter one way or the other. And same thing with this, you know, how pointy do you want the chin? I leave it right in the middle. Neck size, I usually bring this down just a tiny bit. Eye color, my favorite eye color is this one. It ends up looking really, really blue. This one is a light blue too. It has more of like a reflective thing in it, but it just doesn't look as pale and pretty, I think, as this first blue. Eye size, I leave right where it is. Eye angle, I leave right where it is. But you could, you know, change that if you were so inclined. Eye separation is pretty good the way it is. Anything else looks a little awkward, so I leave it there. eye height I always bring straight down to the middle, or straight down to the bottom. And eye squint I bump up just a little bit. It gives them that kind of smoldery kind of thing. Now for eyebrows, I usually choose between these two. This one, which is more of kind of like a penciled look, and this one, which is more of kind of like a shaped look. But it also kind of gives them a mean look a little bit too, so be careful with that one. This one is a little friendlier looking, I think. Now, eyebrow height I always bring all the way down, because it seems to me when they're up, it's almost like they have that kind of surprised eyebrows raised expression. So I bring that all the way down. Eyebrow skew, this does so little it doesn't really even matter, but I use it. Eyebrow depth. This is how far the brow sticks out. I do not like brows that stick out very far, so I usually bring the eyebrow depth down. Now, I'm a fan of the kind of button nose. So this is the opposite end of the spectrum, and then it kind of down at the bottom is more like a button upturned nose. I also will bring the nose height down just a little, and I bring the nose width down, which is kind of makes the features look a little bit finer, a little bit thinner and more delicate. And then nose length, of course, is basically another term for nose size. And I don't think I need to touch that one. That one usually stays pretty much in the middle. Now, the shape of the mouth is determined by your face type up here. So the really angular types get kind of like a thin mouth. The heroic types get a bigger lower lip. The soft types get more of a pursed, kind of kissy face, duck face kind of lips. So that's part of the reason why I go in between soft and angular. It's because I like something in between there. And of course, I like the whole smoldering thing, so I don't usually do too much with the mouth curve. But if you were so inclined, you could give yourself a little. I think it looks a little like goofy if you give them too much of a curve. But you know, you don't have to be frowning like that. And lip fullness, for this I usually leave just a little bit above default. And so there you have it. That is how I made my Breton Templar. Thanks for watching, and if this video was helpful, please hit the subscribe button. Thanks.